Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. This is Vishnu Pudi, and today we will be solving problems number 22 to 24 of the 2019 AMC 8. So, without further ado, let's begin with problem number 22. We got our highlighter ready, and now we read the question. A store increased the original price of a shirt, so we know that increased is important, by a certain percent, and then decrease the new price by the same amount. So same amount is crucial. So given that the resulting price was 84% of the original price, by what percent was the price increased and decreased? So the question just asking for what percent. And we can just solve this algebraically. We know that increasing the original price by a certain percent, first letting that percent be P, and P is going to be a fraction, it's not going to be like an integer or a whole number. So we know that we have the original price, which let's just denote that as O. So O is original. So we have that the final price is going to be equal to the original price times 1 plus the percentage, P, because that's what it means to increase the original price by a certain amount. And then decreasing it is 1 minus P, similar to increasing. And we have that this is equal to 0.840. So from this, we can just divide both sides by O and use the difference of squares factorization to see 1 minus P squared is going to equal 0.84. Now we just add P squared to both sides, subtract 0.84 from both sides, and we have P squared is going to equal to 0.16. Taking the square root of this and noting that the percentage is greater than 0 due to the increase, we have that the percentage is going to equal to 0.4, which is also just 40%. And before we mark down the answer, we always want to check to make sure it works. So we have the original price times 1 plus 0.4 times 1 minus 0.4, which is indeed going to be equal to O times 1.4 times 0.6, which is going to equal 0.840, which is exactly what we wanted. So we mark our answer, E, and we move on. Problem number 23. After Euclid High School's last basketball game, it was determined that 1/4 of the team's points were scored by Alexa, and 2/7 were scored by Brittany. Chelsea scored 15 points, and none of the other team members, and 7 is critical, scored more than 2 points. And what was the total number of points scored by the other 7 team members? So we first approach this problem by looking at these fractions. Since we know that 1/4 of the points were scored by Alexa, 2/7 were scored by Brittany, we can sum them to get that. Additionally, with Chelsea, the other team members scored a total of, letting T be total, so letting T equal total, we have that the other 7 team members scored a total of T minus 1/4 T minus 2/7 T minus 15. And we know that this is also less than or equal to 14 because none of them scored more than 2 points. So let's first subtract. So we have that this is 3/4 t minus 2/7 t is going to be equal to 13 over 28 t. And this minus 15 is our desired result. Now, we know that t is going to be a multiple of 28. And we also know that this value must be positive and also less than 14. So thus, t must equal 56. Because if t equals 28, this quantity will be -2. And if t is greater than 56, then this quantity will be greater than 14. So thus, the number of points that the other team members scored, since that's what we're trying to find, the number of points scored, is just this expression where t is equal to 56, or 13 times 2 minus 15, also equal to 11, and we are done with this problem. Now let's move on to the final problem, problem 24. In triangle ABC, point D divides side AC such that AD to DC is 1 to 2. Let E be the midpoint of BD, and let F be the point of intersection of line BC and line AE. Given that the area of ABC is 360, what is the area of EBF? So, this is a very simple application of the geometric tool known as mass points. This tool is basically useful when you have these segments passing through a triangle coming from one point. These are also called chavions. When you generally see 2 or more chavions with a point of intersection, the problem is basically calling for you to use mass points. So, we have that, first of all, we assign the point A to mass 1. So if we have A is 1, now, since AD to DC is 1 to 2, that means AD is going to be half of DC. So the mass of A is going to be twice that of C. So C is going to have mass 1/2. So now we look at the mass of D, and the mass of D is going to be equal to the sum of the masses of A and C, which is just 3/2. Now, looking back at the question, we have that E is the midpoint of BD, which means that B and D have equal mass. So B is also a mass of 3/2. And E is the sum of those masses, which is going to be 3. Might just make that a bit clearer. 3. So now that we know the mass of E, we can finally figure out the mass of F and solve for the diagram. And the mass of F is simply 3 minus 1, or 2, which also checks out from 3 over 2 plus 1 over 2. So now that we have all the masses in the diagram, we can now compute the ratio of this area to the area of the entire figure. So we first know that BF over FC is going to be 1 to 3. So we have x, and then here we have 3x, because the mass of C is 1/3 of that of B. Similarly, looking at AE to EF, we have that if AE is going to be 2y, EF is going to be y. And this is because the ratio of the mass of A to F is 1 over 2. So EF is going to be half of AE. So this means overall, the base is 1/4 of that of the original, while the height is 1/3. So the overall area is 1/4 times 1/3 equals 1/12. So we have area of EBF And then this is going to be equal to 1/12 times the area of ABC. And in the question, they actually give us the area of ABC, 360. So the area of EBF is going to be 1/12 times 360, which is 30. This gives us answer choice B. And we are done. Thank you so much for watching. It really means a lot. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as well as click the bell icon. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please post them down below or email me at steamaspirations@gmail.com. This is Vishnu Anjipudi, signing off. Bye.